All right, let's wrap this up with the stock market. It's 12:32. I know it's 1:30 where you're at, JP, so I'm really going to try and keep this short.
He's still in Central Time. His body's in Central Time.
Sure.
I'm chilling.
Okay. First one, buy or sell. Coach Sig will still be at Indiana next season
Buy.
as the head coach. You're buying.
I'm gonna
Reasoning
buy
being.
that. I think he fits there.
Okay.
I think that he hasn't been there for very long, and it's already going really, really well. He's turned Indiana into a potential national championship contender. They just beat Oregon, who is a national championship contender. So I think that going on the road and beating Oregon, you kind of establish yourself as like, we're here for real. The only concerns I would have, and I don't have the answer to those because I'm not in the building, is like, does he feel like this is a stars aligning kind of situation in Indiana where he just got lucky and had the right guys who showed up at the right time and everything clicked and that's how they were able to win that game? I don't know the answer to that.
He does not think that.
Yeah.
I mean, with all, as you know, I just Google me, I win.
Yeah.
He does not think that. Whether that is what happened and he won't replicate this again, he is supremely confident in his abilities to build a winner continuously and sustain it in Indiana or elsewhere.
Right, but I guess does he think he has a better chance of being able to do it sustainably elsewhere? That's my question. Is like, I have no doubt about his ability to win, but does he think he can win championships at Indiana every year going forward? Or does he think he has a better chance of being able to do that? Is that the only thing he cares about? Like, I don't know.
Sure.
I think he'll still be there next year.
JP?
I'm selling.
Okay.
He fitted James Madison. How many seasons do you think he coaches James Madison, Sanders?
2.
Correct, 2. I think if he get offered a bag and it was one of these big spots, I don't see why he would stay.
Yeah.
That just doesn't feel like that's his personality. I think he would. Why would you turn down going to, hell, even Penn State? Like, if you think even remotely that is a better chance at winning, which it is pretty much anywhere, than winning at Indiana, which is historically terrible at football, then why wouldn't he? So I'm selling. I think he would take the offer if that was given to him, to something better, because it's not. I don't think it's a sustainability thing. I think he would sustain the level of winning, because he is one of those kind of guys that apparently it appears they're only 4 years of being a head coach, that he is someone that can build a really good culture, build a team that believes in each other, and he wins games. He's 36-6 as a head coach.
Google me.
In 4 years. Google me. I think that helps my point as well. He's clearly very self-centered as well.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't he take the next job? Now, I think it's a little tough being next year. I would imagine he is favored to be there next year, but give me the plus money that he goes somewhere else.
Yeah, I'm going to sell as well for a lot of the reasons you said, JP. The ego's a huge thing. Like, if Florida comes just with bags and it's like, I could be the head coach at Florida, I think he's going to have a hard time passing that. And then I agree, it's kind of like he fits at Indiana, but I think he fits at Indiana because he wins, and like winning kind of fits anywhere. When you go in and transform the program and you don't lose, everyone's going to love you. There's going to be a bunch of buy-in. So I think he could fit in almost anywhere because of that. I am really intrigued to see how Indiana plays this, though, because you can't tell me he's not going to get offers. So are they going to commit to this whole football thing as they should, or are they going to try and give him a little, second-tier offer, or, just, not promise facility upgrades and stuff like that? Like, I'm curious how that all goes down.
Yeah.
Let's move on to this next one. Trinidad Chambliss will stay the Ole Miss's starter for the whole season, for the rest of the season, barring injury.
Yeah, barring injury.
It's null and void. Well, I guess you could say injuries factors in, but it's really if he gets benched or not. And Austin Simmons, finally gets healthy, though I don't really think it's a health thing at this point currently. But
I'll go first again. I'm gonna buy that
Okay.
he's gonna stay the starter. I think he's looked better than Austin Simmons did in his game starting, and I think Lane Kiffin is. I mean, he's not gonna care about students or what fans are saying on Twitter. Like, he's gonna start the guy that gives him the best chance to win, and I think Trinidad Chambliss gives him the best chance to win.
Sure. I'm also gonna buy. He's just looked better, and I'm not gonna jump ship on Trinidad after one bad game. Plenty
Right.
of quarterbacks have a bad game, and the whole team had a bad game. So
I'm selling. I
Okay.
sold early in the show. Like I said, I think people are calling for Austin Simmons to start, and I don't see if this week will be the litmus test. I think if Trinidad
For
plays
sure.
well against Georgia, then he deserves to start the rest of the year. But I don't think he will. So I think they'll go to Austin Simmons
Do you,
again.
JP? Do you think Austin Simmons is a better quarterback than Trinidad Chambliss?
I think any quarterback is good with Lane Kiffin, so I don't think it matters. I think they would be in the same spot they would be with Austin had he not gotten hurt than with Trinidad. Lane Kiffin builds offenses that are the quarterback's best friend, so I don't
Yeah.
think it matters.
That's
Sure.
fair.
Now, if you still, to answer your question, yes, I think Austin is slightly better than Trinidad.
Cool.
Fair enough. Next one, buy or sell. A&M is currently the best team in the SEC. This is not a projection. This is a current statement or a current assessment of
I'm
the
gonna go ahead and
SEC.
pencil you in for buy. Do you want to go first? I mean, I assume you're gonna buy.
I'm gonna buy. I kind of talked about it a little bit in the top 25 segment. I don't think we have the highest ceiling per se, but the way the defense is currently playing, and then the weapons we have offensively to go with the offensive line and run game, while it can be frustratingly inconsistent, we still have the pieces to score in numerous ways, and that makes us tough to hold down for a full game.
I also already kind of made my pick, I guess, because I said earlier I think I was surprised when you said you thought A&M would beat Alabama if they played right now. So I'm gonna sell. I think that there's, maybe two teams that could or would beat A&M. So I'll take the field.
I'm buying. They've proven that they can win games in a multitude of ways. On the road, yes. At home, absolutely. In a shootout, yeah. In a dogfight, yeah. In a game where you can't get anything going offensively, Marshall Reed kind of plays bad. Yeah, we saw that 2 weeks ago with State. And then last week, when you get punched in the mouth to start the game by DJ Lagway, do you respond? Yeah. They responded, and they responded well. They have proven so far at this point in the season that they can win a game in any way possible.
Sure.
They can score when they need to, if they need to. Their the biggest stat is 1 for 38.
It's two
No,
for
it's not.
it's 2 for 37.
38.
2 for
Okay,
37.
7
6%.
on third and fourth down the last 3 weeks. I don't care who the talent is, because if it was about the talent, then what about Utah State and UTSA? So we didn't hear that number then, and I don't have the number in front of me, but I imagine it might even be better. Jack actually watched the game, so he would probably know. With the way their defense is playing, defense wins championships, and with their capabilities offensively to run the ball and throw the ball, which are the two things you do offensively for the most part, they're the best team in the SEC.
Sure. Now they just gotta not plateau early is the biggest key. Next one, and this, I just want to be able to talk about it and rag a little bit, is really why this one is here. Ole Miss has the worst football fans in the SEC.
You wanna? So that's
I can talk about why this is here a little bit if you want me to.
give a little background for people who missed it.
So your top 5 team, Wazoo's coming into town. I know you're a 30-plus point favorite. But not only do people not show up for kickoff, but as the game's close, we got people leaving. The student section is like mostly empty. Lane Kiffin's taking shots in the presser about it, saying our red zone offense showed up today just like our student section did. And it's kind of a theme. Ole Miss students, Ole Miss fans would just rather go party in the Grove than pack up the stadium. And I know it drives Lane Kiffin crazy. I think it's really stupid. I feel like, for example, if Mississippi State had a top 5 team, the student section would be packed out.
Yeah.
The student section has been packed out this
year.
Yeah, this year, and
not for
y'all been borderline
game where we were favored by 30.
Sure. Yeah.
Although we did have
packed out against Alcorn
I was about to say we did have really good attendance for that game.
100% better than what they put out. The hard thing to like really gauge what the worst means is like, how do you gauge expectations? Like, I'm sure Kentucky fans aren't necessarily pulling up in droves.
Yeah.
But they're just not a football school. Like, so I don't know how you weigh that. So I get this is like pretty subjective, but I think it's a pretty bad look personally. And once again, it's a chance to rag on the school up north. So I'm going to buy.
Yeah, I think I would also buy. I can't think of, like, I'm just looking at the SEC standings right now to see the only other.
I mean, Vandy's probably a contender.
But Vanderbilt has the same excuse Kentucky has in that before they were good, they're good now. Yes, no one showed up, but I've heard stories from people who like went to Vandy or lived in Nashville, and they're like, yeah, if it was like a close game at halftime, because their frat row or whatever is like backs up to the stadium, like people would just like show up at halftime. Because
Fairweather fan, man, that's crazy.
Yeah, fair, but also they were Vanderbilt. They were getting blown out in
know.
everything. So I think Vanderbilt kind of gets the same pass.
Just depends on if you want to issue the pass or not, basically.
Yeah, that's fair. Which I would. I don't. If you are a fan, if you have is this Ole Miss fans or Ole Miss students specifically, just fans in general?
I said fans.
Yeah. Anyway, if you're a fan base and you're not showing up for a top 5 team, that's pretty pitiful. Because right now Vandy is top, 20, top 25, wherever you want to rank them. Their fans are showing up, right? Like, you got to show up when your team is good. Ideally, you show up when they're bad and support, because that's an important part of getting better. Is like, that's not here nor there. He's neither here nor there. Not going to get into that. But yeah, just like running down the list, A&M absolutely has better fans. Alabama, Georgia, LSU, Tennessee, Texas. I don't know much about Missouri's fans, but it was full against Alabama.
Sure.
Once again, that's an SEC matchup. Ole Miss is full for SEC matchups. I do think I'm going to buy that.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
They've had their struggles in the past.
I will buy.
So that they have the worst is what we're saying?
Yeah.
Yes, in regards to football.
Okay, and I'm going to sell.
Okay.
I know too many fans just from being here in Starkville and then working in Tupelo. There are so many fans that drive 1 to 2 to 3 hours to Oxford to go see them play in sporting events. So I don't. It's not on the fan base. The student section I might actually buy.
Yeah.
But it's also, I'd also say it's not necessarily the students' fault. I would say that's more of the university's fault because, one, the stadium is ass, shit, terrible. It's a high school stadium at best. It would be a C-tier Texas high school football stadium. The area around the stadium is terrible. And then also in the stadium is not cool. It's not like you get a really cool scoreboard to look at or just neat areas. The student section is set up horribly because the student section is kind of on the east-ish. It's kind of northeast side of the stadium is how it's faced. And so the students just get baked, really regardless of when the game is, unless it's at night. And this is Mississippi, and we're midway through October. It's still going to be hot as crap if you're in the sun. I know it was for the Tennessee game 2 weeks ago. And, I mean, watching it on TV, those students were getting baked. Like, they were in an oven. out there. So I don't necessarily blame them for not showing up. That's not necessarily their fault, but
I, I was
I'm
be-
gonna sell.
okay.
I know too many fans that
I
commit
love.
a lot of
I was
hours.
I was
Money.
beginning to wonder like what happened to the real JP. You're being way too cordial
was
and
like-
nice to Ole Miss.
I was like, dang, like I guess he's like friends with too many Ole Miss people. He doesn't want to like offend anyone or say something mean, and then you just went out and dogged on their stadium and their
That's
campus.
too good.
That is hilarious.
I'm gonna need that clipped and sent to me, please.
That was so funny.
That's good. Fair enough. I really probably should have amended it to student section or student fan base because I know there are plenty of people that do actually care. But it's the SEC. Everyone cares. Someone has to be the worst. 2 more. We are in for the most chaotic coaching carousel in recent memory. Courtesy of Andrew McBride. Now it's like I'm trying to think back to previous coaching carousels, and
I have a terrible memory.
I feel like the carousel that had Jimbo Fisher in it was pretty big. Because obviously we got Jimbo Fisher, and Florida State got Willie Taggart, which that didn't work out. I think the Florida job, was that the year Dan Mullen went to Florida?
I can't remember. I'm trying to see.
No, it was not.
He went after 2016 because
Okay,
the
so then no.
2017 year we had an elite defense, but Joe Moorhead could not call an
So then
offense.
that
We
was
had
a
the
year
best
earlier.
defense in the country.
I mean, last year it was the Alabama job.
The Washington job opened up as a result.
Yeah. And then I guess the Michigan job, but that was not coaching carousel because they just kind of promoted from within. That felt like that was always going to happen. So it didn't really feel that chaotic, to be honest. It was really just the Bama job. I think I'm going to buy because I think typically a coaching carousel goes in terms of like there's tiers, and so it's a domino effect of like, okay, we wait for this, the top tier team to hire their guy, and so we don't get him, so we're gonna pivot. But this year, it kind of feel like there could just be kind of a mad dash for the top candidates, and a lot of different teams have chances to get the most desirable guys and fight, if that makes sense. So
Yeah,
I'm gonna buy.
I'm trying to think. So like, I agree that like the top jobs have to open up for it to be a crazy coaching carousel. And I'm trying to think of like other years. Like
I'm also basing this off of Florida State opening, Florida opening, Auburn
Yeah.
opening.
so, yeah.
I'm not saying those are like it's not the Alabama opening, but it's first talking about chaos. And
Yeah.
I feel like that's the best chaos scenario.
I mean, that's like the SEC versus the Big Ten. You got to have an elite second tier. You can't just have the S tier jobs open up. You got to have the A's and B's.
Exactly.
I may have to go back and like look into this because a lot of it could depend on like what other jobs were open the year Sarkisian went to Texas. Well, I don't know what year that was, but like that's a really big job. And so
Yeah.
if there were some lower tier jobs that opened up, we just don't remember about, or not remember about. It's not. Anyway, if we just don't remember, I would be interested to think when that job opened up, maybe when Dan Lanning goes to Oregon, it depends on how, with the money there, how you view that job, as far as like opportunities and tiers. But yeah, I'll buy mostly because I have a bad memory and can't think of any others. But maybe we should revisit this one as
Sure.
more jobs open up, and then also like have
I
more
can do a
opportunity.
little research.
Yeah, because I would be interested in and we also need to be sure we do a show. Tucker's going to be here because Tucker would just
He would help us.
He'd rattle us off. He'd
No,
rattle
I've
off.
missed him in the chat these past couple weeks.
Yeah, he's busy on. Well, he's busy on Tuesdays and Thursdays, so I don't know what he's doing today. But
Oh,
yeah,
probably because didn't start till past 10.
that is true. It is almost 1 a.m. and we are not done.
Yeah,
But
we only have
I will buy.
Okay.
You will buy.
JP.
I'll buy.
Yeah.
Ole Miss is going to be open. Florida's going to be open. Auburn's going to be open. Arkansas is open. That's just 4 SEC jobs right there. I think Ole Miss is going to be open because I think Lane Kiffin's leaving.
I agree.
Yeah, that's 4 SEC jobs right there. And honestly, you may see a 5th. You may see Kentucky with Stoops if it really continues to slide downhill. According to some, Rebel burner accounts. Jeff Lebby is considering leaving, so Mississippi State's going to be open.
Well, apparently Mike Elko's taking the Penn State job, so then A&M's
Yeah,
open.
Mike Elko has locked up the Penn State job. So there's 6 SEC jobs already open. When Texas loses 2 more games, maybe Sark's done. DeBoer has been on the hot seat twice this season already, but now he's back on the cold seat. But you have Cocktober in Tennessee coming up, so maybe he's back on the hot seat. I think so. I don't think that at least the personalities that we trust that are out there in the college football media would be talking about it this early if it wasn't going to be.
I agree.
So I'll buy.
All right, so we all buy, and now we can get to our last one. Another one courtesy of Andrew McBride, because he just kind of cooks up some fire once weekly. 7 of the current top 10 teams in the AP poll make the playoffs. I'll just read them off real quick. Ohio State is 1, Miami 2, Indiana 3, Texas A&M 4, Ole Miss 5, Alabama 6, Texas Tech 7, Oregon 8, Georgia 9, LSU 10. 7 of those teams have to make the playoffs for you to buy. I'm just going to work down the list really quick.
Yeah. What's the test, JP?
You got to the confetti test.
Can we apply that here?
Yeah, the confetti test.
Okay. So do we close our eyes and we have to see them?
I'm just trying to picture the bracket. Can I see them on the selection show? Like their name pops up in a slot.
7 of 10.
7 of the top 10.
Ohio State. I feel like that one's pretty easy.
I don't see it.
Okay.
No.
Devil's advocate over here. Hater.
Let me make a case. They lose to Michigan by 200.
They still get in.
Okay, yeah. Ohio State,
Miami. I mean, I can see it.
Yeah, I also see it. I'm pulling up their schedule.
They haven't lost yet.
They have a big game at home, and then they have Pitt and Virginia Tech to end the year, back to back, and of course the ACC championship. 2-loss Miami has a chance to be potentially out, but if Notre Dame keeps improving, then it's really hard for them to be.
Yeah.
I go ahead and say Ohio State's a lock. Miami is a lock.
I feel like Indiana at this point, especially with the way their schedule's shaping up,
Indiana's a lock.
really easy
They've
to
got
see.
the best win in the country right now. I don't know.
Then you get to A&M at 4. I wouldn't call A&M a lock, but as I've just called them the current best team in the SEC, I am going to take them to make the playoffs at this point.
Is it crazy that 8-4 is still a possibility for y'all?
Yeah, and it probably will happen. We also don't have a brutal back end of the SEC schedule. I mean, it's an SEC schedule. We go to Texas, we go to Missouri.
Go to LSU.
But it's not one of those where you play 5 top 15 teams to end the year.
Yeah.
So I personally will take that one for now. Maybe if I'm sitting right at 7, I change my mind.
Ole Miss
at 5. I'm not going to take both A&M and Ole Miss to make it.
Yeah, but I think between the two of them, you're that's one. You know?
That's kind of where I'm sitting at personally. Alabama, I can see Alabama pretty easily in that.
100%.
So that puts us at 5.
Yeah.
Texas Tech.
Yes.
Yeah, I
100%.
don't really know. We've seen them face their biggest challenger in the Big 12 already, and it went pretty poorly for their biggest challenger.
Yeah. Still got to go to Arizona State.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean they're.
And then that gives you Oregon at 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, considering who they play.
The rest of their schedule is light.
Georgia at 9, LSU at 10. I think it's pretty easy to get to 7, honestly.
I agree.
So I'm going to buy.
I don't.
I'm buying.
I think I'm going to start from the bottom and work my way back up. I don't think LSU makes it.
Okay. That's the one I feel worst about.
They've got to go to Vanderbilt, and I saw someone tweet that Vanderbilt is favored.
They are indeed favored.
They are favored.
So Vanderbilt is favored in that game. They've got to play A&M. They've got to go to Alabama, and they've got to go to Oklahoma. I don't see LSU making it. So I'm down to 9. I'm just trying to reverse logic this. Georgia, I think is gonna. is this dumb of me that I forgot we get Georgia and Georgia Tech in the last week of the season and how like it's just weird that that's an exciting game. That's why I
Yeah.
forgot because I forgot that it's going to be an exciting game.
Disrespecting Haynes King.
I know it was not.
Crazy.
I didn't forget about them. I just forgot that it's going to be a good game because I'm not used to that. But I feel good about Georgia making it even with 2 losses because even if they lose Georgia Tech, it's out of conference. They've got a chance of making the SEC. I'll buy the 7.
Sure. JP, did you officially make your pick?
Yeah, I'm gonna buy as well.
Sure.
And I'm gonna, if it's out there, I'd like to buy that it's exactly 7 as well.
Okay.
I wish
I'll hold
that'd
you
be
to
a
that.
that'd be a good prop not a prop bet. I don't know, whatever you call that genre of.
I don't know what it's called. Would you call it either? I think it maybe just. I don't think there's a word for it.
Unfortunate.
You're calling your shot is what I'm gonna call it here.